huge card on slate today.
15-game card. It's us versus the bookies. Bases loaded, high noon. It's going to be a showdown.
On a suddenly not so casual Friday, the buy hat is engaged. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to MLB Bases Loaded on this Friday. It is Friday, May the 29th, 2026. A big Friday caught on our hands. We got 15 games, 14 series openers. It is an opportunity to dominate. Mike, what's going on this morning, brother?
What's going on is I'm trying to put out the flames that was fire from yesterday's show, man. It was a 6-game card, but damn if I didn't win just about everything I put money on yesterday. I had a push. I actually had a push out there in a soccer game, but listen, that's okay. We bounced back after that tennis disaster, and literally everything was plus money yesterday. So right on down to the NBA, easy win for the Spurs, and the under was never in doubt as well. It was just one of them days, man. Hopefully TGIFF means that we go out there and smash these bookies, Shark. I'm ready to fucking rock and roll, dude.
Yeah, great show yesterday. As always, we try to bring you guys the top hype conversation, analysis, and picks. If you guys are in the chat, guys, it's Friday. It's a relaxing day at work. You're getting off. You're at lunch. Get a beer. Hang out. We're going to talk some ball. And, of course, if you're on the West Coast, little Shark pep talk every morning here. Get that coffee. It's 9:11 a.m., baby. We're about to fire. We got 15 games. And let's get down to business on a suddenly not so casual Friday, the last Friday of May of 2026. First game on the card. No matinees this afternoon. We're going straight to the evening card. 6:40 p.m. in Cincinnati. Braves opening up tonight for the weekend series at Great American Ballpark. Braves yesterday cleaning up the Red Sox. No problem. 10-2. Ronald Acuna Jr. Grand slam. Open up the floodgates. Now they travel to Cincinnati. Cincinnati, one of my least favorite teams. Mike, I have a hat for this game. Where are you going with this one?
Boy, we might end up on the opposite side, I have a feeling, with this one here because, one other than, well, first and foremost, the Reds against righties. They've been pretty phenomenal. I mean, listen, obviously you look at the numbers this season. Are they statistical outliers? No, I mean, they're putting the bat to the ball and it's finding its way across the finish line there. There is no clog in the toilet there. But the Braves, if they score 7 or more runs, they are struggling to back it up. And for those reasons here, I just can't get involved in the Atlanta business here. I originally looked at it. I thought, you know what, this might be a nice little Atlanta Braves spot. But, listen, push comes to shove. I got to get my money where I can. And I wanted to apologize to everybody. No graphics today. I apologize for absolutely nothing, Shark. But I got to pull the screen up now that I'm dull void of these graphics here. But I lean to the Reds. I don't know. I haven't gotten there and pulled the trigger yet. What are you thinking?
Yeah, when I heard Conor McGregor say, I apologize to absolutely nobody, you know what? I apologize to absolutely nobody for putting this hat on. The buy hat is engaged. We're taking the Braves on the money line. And, Mike, to use one of your sharp takes from yesterday, I'm going -1.5 as well.
Oh,
I see margin. And, you're talking about backing up success with success, the lineup exploding, this, and that. I really like a buy low here on Grant Holmes. Grant Holmes here, great road pitcher. 7-3 overall, 4-0 on the road. Also coming off a home loss. He is fantastic road off a loss. 2-0 road off a prior home loss, both by margin and both as a small favorite. 2-0 win at Arizona and a 2-0 win at Philadelphia. Not only that, you get Chris Paddock on the bump tonight for Cincinnati. As if I didn't like Cincinnati enough already, Paddock comes over here, second start with this team. The Marlins already saw enough of this dude, shipped him out before the All-Star break. He's absolutely terrible. He's been terrible even more precisely this year in home games. We talked about Chris Bassett yesterday being great at home in Toronto and Baltimore. Home pitcher regardless of the situation. Paddock is terrible at home regardless of the situation. I thought maybe when I was capping this, it was going to be, he was just distracted. He was in South Beach. It was Miami, this, and that. Not really. He didn't look good in his previous home start. This year at home, 29 hits, 23 earned runs against in only 16 and a third innings pitched. And he did already take a loss against Atlanta this year, having pitched in the division with the Marlins 6-3. Final point on this. Grant Holmes actually did lose a game to Cincinnati last year at home as a small favorite -120. He's a heavier favorite road. That is line functionality. Books like him. And why do they like him? The Braves are 21-9 on the road. I told you guys yesterday I thought Peyton Toll might stop the bus. He didn't. They ran train all over the Red Sox. I think this team's just a unit. And they are 129 runs better in the run differential market than your Cincinnati Reds, who are sitting here 29-26 with a -26 run differential. Absolutely final point on this. Cincinnati's coming off a 3-game trip at the Mets. They are 1-4 straight up home game one of a series if off of a prior road game. They're not coming home and traveling well. Mike, obviously looking towards Cincinnati. Maybe I've given some great data points there. Maybe I haven't. I'm due to win a coin flip. I don't think a coin flip is coming here, though. I'm actually looking at some alts. I think the Braves could win this game by 3+ runs. Mike, any further thoughts or keep it moving?
Yeah, just for factual accuracy, the difference between this Braves play as a favorite and my Angels reverse run line yesterday is they were a dog. So I was laying 1.5 on a big dog. These guys are a big favorite, but I do agree. After further review of the situation, I do like this Atlanta Braves spot here. Probably get to this Atlanta team. I think they should easily, listen. Be fun to see. Braves hats engaged. Let's go.
There we go. See, the conversation is advancing the product on this beautiful Friday. Mike, honestly, when I said that about the reverse run line, I actually was thinking more so buying it up to 2.5 or 3.5 here.
Okay. Okay.
And
you're alt run lining then.
Absolutely. Alt running it. And maybe we can get there at the end of the show. But the buy hat is engaged, and let's keep it moving. Next game on the card, more evening baseball, second game of 15, 6:45. Apple TV. Interesting they bought the rights to this one. PNC Park, Twins, Pirates, interleague baseball. Game one of this series, these teams do play one series per year. Last year at home, Minnesota did win the series 2-1. Interesting dynamic, Taj Bradley against Jared Jones. Jared Jones has not pitched in over a season. He's an extremely high projection pitcher here, Mike. I got some stuff on this one. What do you think?
Yes, sir. How about that call yesterday? They say, Mikey doesn't like Skeens. I took his K-prop and it cashed. I also took the Cubs and it cashed. And I'm going to take the Minnesota Twins today and I'm going to cash for a bunch of reasons out there that we will get into here. But my goodness, man, big bomb yesterday on top of that. It's like, how could you take Skeens strikeouts and then still like the Cubs? Because they're not synchronized. I tell you time and again here, the pitcher's not out there batting. And even if he was, he's only doing it 1 out of every 9 guys on the plate. I think there's chemistry problems in that Pirates locker room. I'll stand on it here. And then when they play teams that are bad, sub 500 teams, they're even worse. They've lost 11 in a row in this spot here. Not to mention we have show favorite Taj Mahal. I like his over strikeout prop here. The guy's averaging 27.5%, 10.2 Ks per 9. He's gone over the strikeout number 6 of 9 starts. He's got a Pittsburgh Pirates lineup that's swinging to miss right now. There's a lot of great things happening here. The Pirates, by the way, their strikeout rate against righties right now, it's up to 7th in Major League Baseball. This team is starting to fall apart at the seams of the baseball here. So I'm going to take Taj Mahal. I'm going to take him to get his strikeout prop. I'm going to take the Minnesota Twins. I can't believe I'm saying it with such enthusiasm as well here, but this is a Twins spot, knockdown, drag out. The Pirates can't hit their way out of a paper bag, and you're giving me plus money to do it with this Minnesota Twins team. So plus 122. Shit, let me look and see what Taj Mahal is going to get the win looks like as well.
Yeah, Mike, when you start talking Taj Mahal, my eyes light up. I spent a lot of time in Atlantic City over the years. And, of course, that is, I believe, the Hard Rock now. But big dog vibes on this Friday. I'm with you. I like the Twins in this one. I agree with everything you said. And just jumping off it a little further here, you see this guy, Jared Jones. And as I said, real high projection pitcher, was actually supposed to attend the University of Texas. Ended up rescinding that, getting drafted in the second round in 2020 by the Pirates. But he hasn't pitched in over a year. And I think that really is a psychological thing. I saw some quote from him from a couple days ago. He said it's going to feel like his first career start. It's not exactly what you want to back. You don't want to back a guy that's maybe feeling a little confused. And I think he's going to struggle here to a degree. Of course, in professional baseball, struggling is all relative. These guys are pros. We're not expecting him to completely implode. But I do think Taj Bradley really is a buy here, Mike. You mentioned it, but I'll repeat. He is great road. He's 4-1 road out of the division. He's 1-0 at the National League. And speaking of eyes lighting up here, about 3 hours ago when I started handicapping this game, and regarding the Twins, I was friendly reminded they just got their ass kicked by the White Sox yesterday. We love the White Sox, and I told you guys yesterday, the White Sox are now 10-1 last 11 against the Twins. So the Twins just get owned by the White Sox. We love that. But the Twins are actually 2-0 this year in series openers at National League opponents. And it's very specific. They're 2-4 at the National League, 0-4 in games 2 and 3, but they are great in openers. And that win by Taj Bradley was a series opener at Washington, 11-3. It's a great handicap, Mike. I totally align. Take the Twins and let's cash. Keeping it moving down the line here. 6:45 in Washington. More out-of-division baseball. This one, not interleague, intra-league. Padres traveling cross-country to face the Nationals. When I handicapped this before, that was the first thing I looked at. Padres traveling across country. I don't really like that dynamic, Mike. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I'll take the Padres. Look, the Nationals home series openers are terrible. They are a fade position. Now, the thing about this game, and I say that tongue in cheek, but the numbers coming down on this Nationals team, it opened up as basically a coin flip, slight favorite to the home squad out there. And, you know, we're looking at this thing right now. We're seeing it's gone from, minus 116 to minus 108, kind of oscillating, I guess, from some degree, because there is money coming in on this Padres team here. The problem I have for the Nationals, so you got pitching versus hitting. Okay. The problem I have for Schulte and company out there with the Nationals is the Padres bullpen should lock this team down. So yeah, it's Lucas Giolito, and yeah, I think he's a pile of shit. But look, at the end of the day, he's not playing for the Red Sox anymore. He's moved on to the San Diego squad. And, despite the travel situation, I'm not against it. I mean, it's not, these guys travel in luxury. He played the Phillies, he played the Athletics. You're getting on the road. I think they get excited about some of these road trips here. The Nationals, for what it's worth, this is a bad spot for the Nats because you've got a team that traveled multiple series now coming back home for their first homestand here. So despite the travel narrative there, Shark, I respect it, but I got to respectfully disagree with it here. I think this is a good Padres opportunity for these boys to play defensive ball, probably see an under in this game as well, but give me the even money San Diego Padres.
Yeah, I have the Nationals here. And Mike, it's not a narrative. It's a fact. The Padres are actually 0-4 in series openers on the road. And they're 0-2 at Eastern time. Both margin losses at Boston to Sonny Gray, not coincidentally on a Friday night, 5-2, April the 3rd, coming cross country, and a 6-4 loss at Brandon Sproat. I backed Brandon Sproat and the Brewers on Tuesday, May the 12th, and I told you guys in that game, kid from Florida. I live in Florida. I like Florida. Said he was going to get his first major league win in that game. He did beat the Padres there. And it's an ongoing conversation just to fade this team. This team is absolutely abysmal. They've scored 7 runs in their last 5 games. They've looked absolutely terrible in the process. Tatis looks confused, totally disoriented, 0 home runs on the year. I have no idea what's going on with this guy. And now you have to come off of a home sweep versus the Phillies where you did absolutely nothing and go to one of the most lackluster spots in the entire sport, which is the Washington Nationals, who are an upside team here at 500 through about 56 games. And Mike, we were on this show actually talking about this about 2 weeks ago. And we did say Washington is terrible at home on Friday nights. They had gotten blown out by the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Brewers. And I told you guys they're going to lose to Baltimore 2 weeks ago on a Friday. What did they do? They beat Baltimore in this spot. So that coming home off a road trip Friday night fade for the Nats, I think is from the past, not the present. And I went through it. Those 3 games they lost on Friday nights coming home, the Dodgers were laying minus 267. The Giants were laying minus 156, and the Brewers with Jacob Misiorowski were laying 6-1. Mike, you backed Misiorowski in that particular game. The last game was the first tight line. Baltimore was laying 143, and now you're seeing a pick 'em. So what the books are doing here is they're seeing blowouts, and they're downgrading the line, and it correlates to everything I said. Absolutely final point on this. Lucas Giolito, as you mentioned, did pitch for the Red Sox last year. When I was handicapping this before, I couldn't believe when I saw this guy's in his 11th season. Where does the time go? I remember when this guy was a rookie with the White Sox. 3rd start of the year for the Padres. Both starts on the West Coast at Seattle and versus the Athletics. Now he's got to come east. I think it's a tough spot. I think the line is wildly short. I think the Nats will get the win. And we will discuss later. Little disagreement here, but agreement along the card. Guys in the chat, type what you're backing here. If you're backing Nats, type Nats. If you are backing the Padres, type Padres or Fathers, one of the two. I like it all. And let's keep it moving. Next game on the card, 4th game in the early slate here. Going back to Baltimore tonight, Blue Jays, Orioles game 2. As I mentioned, 14 series openers tonight. This is the only game 2 on the card. We saw it last night, real tight one. Mike, I think you actually said yesterday when we disagreed in that game, you said it's a coin flip. Who's going to win a coin flip? You won it yesterday. I'm still praying to the coin flip gods. Give me something here, please. That all being said, game 2 here. Trevor Rogers, unlisted pitcher for the Blue Jays. Mike, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I double packed this one. Remember, I gave you guys the no-run first inning and the Toronto Blue Jays in this game yesterday. I'm going to give them to you again today. I don't care who's pitching out there. Right now, I want to fade Trevor Rogers. Since this guy's come back from the injury, 6-0 if you fade this guy. And I'm not a big guy that says, okay, well, just because he's losing means he's going to stay losing, but he's a bum. And bums do what bums do, and that is lose the game out there. Not only that, but, you know, I kind of talked a little bit about the strikeout. My thought with this guy here is I like his under 4.5 strikeouts. Not only is he a bum, he's only got a 17.9% strikeout rate. He's averaging 7.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. Probably not going all 5. He's going to get busted up here. And he's gone under the number 5 of 9 starts. Not only that, but it's 4.5, which is super low. And it's juiced to the under. So even the books say this guy's going to get smashed here. I like Toronto across the gamut. First 5, full game. And I like the Trevor Rogers under 4.5 strikeouts as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Honestly, I don't know what happened to Trevor Rogers.
He got hurt.
I know, but I mean, like you talk about an absolutely precipitous, not even a fall, like a cliff dive without a parachute. I mean, this guy looks useless. It's been now about 6 straight starts where he has absolutely nothing. And what's really confusing to me here is the fact that he looked so good last year. You know, he had kind of struggled with the Marlins. They finally gave up on him, traded him to Baltimore. Last year, he was a complete ace, and he looked great in his first 3 starts, but something is clearly very wrong. And I agree. I don't know what the deal is here, but I would agree that the Blue Jays are the side here. Haven't gotten there yet, but Rogers is very disoriented, to say the least. That's it for that one, and we'll keep it moving. Next game on the card. Continuing AL East baseball here, out of division ball here. Angels at Rays, 7-10 in Tampa tonight. Tampa just running an absolutely elite campaign, particularly at home. 19-5 at the Trop. You know, you talk about a team that didn't have their home stadium last year. I think they don't take it for granted, and I do think it is psychological. I think they walk in there, they say, we really enjoy playing in a major league park as our home stadium. That all being said, tough game for me here. You got Nick Martinez running an absolutely elite campaign. Walbert Urania on the bump for the Angels, also looking very good. That's why the total is very low at 7.5. Mike, pitchers duel tonight, or what's going on here?
I really like this Tampa spot. The problem I have with this is the price tag right now, and the total, by the way, for what it's worth, it's on the rise. But you mentioned the stadium, and they're coming back home, and I'm a fan of Walbert Urania. I mean, this guy's done nothing but go out there and shove. He's got a 2.58 ERA, and you know, the problem I have is the team doesn't back this guy up with the wins. And that's because they're just kind of a mediocre baseball team out there in Anaheim. But I'm going to take a little unique. Well, I don't know about unique, but I like me some pitcher stats out there. I like me some pitcher to get the win numbers as well. And Nick Martinez is sitting at plus 175. So I'm going to turn this Tampa Bay team from a reasonably large home favorite into a nice plus 175. And the reason is this: Nick Martinez against American League is a fucking missile. And he's gone 6 straight wins. You can't get the wins if the pitcher's not recording the wins. So 6-0 for Nicky Martinez. Nick Martinez to get the win, plus 175 for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. As you said, Urania here looking really fantastic. Has only given up 5 earned runs all month. I think he will pitch reasonably well. I think you're going to see a similar game to what you saw in his only road start this month. It was at Cleveland. So also out of division on, I believe that is Eastern time in Cleveland. 3-2 loss. He did pitch well, 2 earned runs in 5 innings. Didn't labor really, but did take a loss in a pitcher's duel. Top look at this game for me would be the under. Nick Martinez has clearly found something with the Rays. Mike, I said it before his previous start. If only this guy had played his entire career with the Rays. I mean, this guy was fledgling. He's bounced around. He's been on like 4 or 5 teams, in and out of the bullpen. It really speaks to coaching. Coaching does matter that much. They can totally reinvent a player, and they have here. So I'll defer to you in this one, but I do think you'll see a low-scoring game. In the Trop tonight. Not so exciting, guys, in Tampa. You're going to need some extra beers for this quick blur of a game. 2.5 hours max on this Friday. And we'll keep it moving. Next game on the card, Red Sox at Guardians, opening up a series tonight in Cleveland. Interesting pitching matchup here. Slade Ciccone on the bump for the Guardians. Pitcher I'm unfamiliar with on the bump for the Red Sox. These names in baseball never let us down. Tyler Samaniego. I don't know. Also from Alabama. If I heard the name Tyler Samaniego, I would not think that dude was from the SEC country. I would think he's from Southern California, if I had to guess. That all being said, Mike, we're not capping this guy. We're capping the game. Any thoughts?
I like Boston in the first half, but I like Cleveland to win the game, as surprising as that is. Yeah, I know this is kind of the unknown and the uncertainty here, but I'm backing more about the Boston bats than I am so much about. Look, I think the hitters have the advantage, or the pitcher has the advantage if nobody knows who the hell you are and you're from bumfuck USA. You can go out there at least for 3 innings. So it's like we talked about yesterday with that Boston. I think it was the Boston first 3 under. And then the first 5 under gets exploded out there. So left-handed pitching in the dog roll, the Red Sox are 121 and 111. But that's a nice little win margin out there. So they're doing the lefties are shutting people down, and this guy's got the unknown element to it. Now you look at the price tag. This is where it's kind of a little head scratcher because the Red Sox to win the game are plus 113. But this middle of nowhere scrub ball finds himself sitting at around an even number, minus 105 and plus 100 to get the first 5 out there. So I think it backs the narrative out there. I like Boston first 5. I like Cleveland full game. I'm going to try to look for a prop where I can get in that, but official for you guys here. I'll give you this Boston first 5. Samaniego plus 102. Boston first 5.
Yeah, when I heard that name, when I saw Alabama, I thought, how the hell did this dude end up in Alabama? Doesn't make any sense to me. But, you talk about the Red Sox here. I honestly think the Red Sox could win the game. I'm not entirely sure. It's a tough handicap for me. But one thing we've talked about with the Red Sox in recent history, they performed great at the AL Central. They're actually 6-0 last 6 road games at this division. They swept Detroit May 4th through May 6th. Then they swept Kansas City May 18th through May 20th. All tight games, mostly low scoring. But I do think for whatever reason, they're finding comfortability in this division. And I think it's what you've talked about numerous times here as well, is that the AL East is just a superior division. So when they go outside of the division, they're just a better ball club. That all being said, I haven't really gotten anywhere with this, but for those of you guys that are looking for information, the Red Sox do perform very well on the road at the Central. Mike likes the first 5. I wouldn't disagree. Take it and let's cash. Divisional baseball tonight in New York. We're going to Queen City Field. Freddie Peralta against Max Meyer. Mets-Marlins game 1. Interesting game here. These pitchers actually did just face off in Miami last week. Meyer did get the win. 4-1 victory as a small favorite. This is the type of stuff that I love to handicap when you really get kind of a playoff series dynamic. Same pitchers a week later, revenge. Honestly, I think the Mets probably get their revenge. I don't like fading Max Meyer, though. Mike, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not going to fade Max Meyer either. I found this one kind of difficult as well. I mean, on the surface, it seems like it should be a Mets game, but can you back the Mets? I don't want to put my money in that situation, but I will take Max, take Uncle Max here. 27.2 strikeout rate right now, man. The guy's averaging 10.1 per nine. One of the more elite pitchers on the bump today, if you can believe that or not. And then he's got this Mets team. They're kind of subpar. I mean, they're striking out 21.4% against righties. And I felt like this one here at a minus 110 is just, I think the most prudent way to play it is expect to see, the Mets continue to swing for the fences. And when you swing for the fences, you get strikeouts here over the last 2 weeks. Their strikeout rate's gone up 4 points as well. They rank 5th overall in Major League Baseball strikeouts the last 2 weeks. So not only are they, this is where the metrics kind of align with what you're actually seeing on paper, right? The Mets stink and they're striking out a ton. So they kind of go hand in hand. I like Max Meyer over 5.5 strikeouts.
Yeah, I agree. We've been talking about Max Meyer all year. This guy's really running a great campaign. He's right in the running with all these other elite young pitchers. Davis Martin, Urania, obviously getting in the conversation now, Jose Soriano, et cetera. But Max Meyer is a very underrated pitcher nationally. You don't really hear his name pop up all that often unless you're watching really precise, highly analytical baseball shows. Part of it's pitching for the Marlins. Part of it is that he's not a big bravado pitcher. He's from Minnesota. I think he could get the win here. I think he'll shove in New York City. I think he's very focused and centered. I don't really like the line, though, as we have said a couple times already with this game. Just a tight line. I see a one-run game. I see a coin flip late. I see a tight pitcher's duel. Not going to go any further detail on this. There are much better games on this card. Kind of a coin flip. We like both pitchers, and we'll keep it moving. Next game on the card, 7:15 in St. Louis. Cubs opening up a weekend series in the division at the Cardinals. Shota Imanaga at Andre Palante. I believe there was a pitching change in the last couple hours. Looked like it was Kyle Leahy overnight. Palante on the bump on this Friday. Interesting game here. Imanaga looking absolutely terrible in recent history. 15 earned runs in his previous 2 starts, both at home at Wrigley. The Cubs have gotten right in the last 2 games. It's about time Imanaga gets right. Mike, is this his spot?
Yeah, I like the spot for him here. More for me is a fate of St. Louis. Just not excited about what those bats are doing whatsoever. I think we've kind of seen them start to show their true colors right now. This team is just in the struggle bus, and they continue to. I mean, there's a big number. There's a chunk of cash coming in on these guys for what it's worth here. 28% of the bets, 64% of the cash. The Cubs have gotten to be more attractive. So I like this Cubs price tag. Listen, I back the Cubs. I talk about being the Cubs whisperer right now, right? I took them when they were down 9 in a row to get to 10. Then I backed them at 10. They got the win. I backed them again yesterday in Skeens Day. I back him again today with Imanaga on the mound here, and it's gotten more attractive at this minus 127 price tag. But not only that, I think Imanaga does shove, and so I'm going to turn this thing into a couple of plays. I like the St. Louis team total under. Right now, the under 1.5 is plus 105 on the St. Louis team total. So I like the Cubs. I like the St. Louis team total. First 5 under 1.5. I expect to see Imanaga do his thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I mean, I think you're looking at a buy low on this guy without question. He's coming off the 2 worst starts of his career consecutively here. 15 earned runs for this guy. Also 5 home runs against. I mean, the wind was blowing out at Wrigley, I believe, on Sunday against the Astros. But still, I mean, you expect far better from this guy. He should not be giving up that many home runs in any context. Also, a really nice spot here to fade Andre Palante. Palante exhibiting very unique zigzag and patterns. Since the beginning of April, he's actually 4-0 in his last 4 road games, 0-4 in his last 4 home games. I don't know. I can't make sense of it. Theoretically, it should be a home stadium advantage for pitchers. He doesn't pitch well at Busch Stadium. He loves getting on the road. We've talked about this a few times. He's from California. He likes pitching on the West Coast, but he did just catch a divisional win at the Reds, was great in the matchup, 1 earned run. And you come back through these divisional home starts, only his second one of the year. By far his worst home start of the year was in the division Wednesday, May 6th against the Brewers. 1 home run against 5 earned runs, 8 hits in a laborious 6 innings, over 100 pitches. I agree, I haven't gotten there yet officially, but I do think the Cubs are absolutely the look in this game. Take the Cubs and let's cash. If you guys are in the chat, drop your plays, drop your comments. It's about half an hour as we rip down the card on this Friday. If you guys are at lunch, Take a shot for us. Hang the hell out. We're having a great Friday. Let's keep it moving. Next game on the card. More divisional baseball, actually. A series opener tonight in the south side of Chicago, Rate Field. Tigers White Sox game 1. When I was capping this before, I wanted to immediately look at the White Sox, and then I saw the pitching matchup, and I did not like the environment. Looks like maybe an opener for the Tigers. The Tigers are sketchy. Eric Fetty for the White Sox. Mike, we're going to bet this, I'm sure, tomorrow or Sunday. Tough one for me tonight. Anything in this one?
Dude, this is your spot, man. Buy hat fucking engaged. What are you doing here? It's plus 104 for the White Sox against this measly Detroit team with Troy Melton. That sounds like a fucking guy I used to slap around the playground in kindergarten. I mean, come on, dude. This is a White Sox team. They're on fire right now. Yeah, listen, I'm not a Tigers guy right now. Certainly, I believe, you can make some money fading the Sox and find your spots here, but we're not laying juice. We're getting money. We're getting plus money on top of it here. I'd be inclined even to go alt run line here. The Tigers against dogs have been absolutely fucking atrocious. You got this AL Central factor where it's a lower scoring affair on top of it here. So this is it. Get me involved in the White Sox business here. Plus 104. I'm going to look at some alt line here as well.
Yeah, now that you're mentioning it, I would agree. Obviously, my bias. It's interesting that I find myself now to be such a White Sox fan. I never thought I'd find myself in this position, but I'm enjoying it. This is what it feels like to be on the south side of Chicago.
South side, baby.
What's going on, guys? But you see actually kind of the polar opposite type of zigzag from what I just described with Andre Palante and this handicap for Eric Fetty. Eric Fetty is terrible on the road. Great at home. He's 4-0 in his last 4 home games, 0-5 on the road. Mike, this is incredible. Back-to-back games. We got great dynamics. All right, we're going to go official. I'm with you.
White Sox alt run line here. White Sox minus 1.5 plus 185. There you go.
Trade less. I mean, when I look at this schedule, this is what I love to see. It is a direct, specific pattern. This guy wins home games and he loses road games and he comes back off road losses very efficient. And as we said, the Tigers have terrible group psychology. They have injuries all up and down their lineup to their pitching staff. Yep. The manager has clearly lost the group. The White Sox will be ready to go. Take the White Sox and let's cash. Next game on the card, more baseball, center of the country. We're going back to Texas. Globe Life Field tonight. Should be jumping. Mackenzie Gore on the bump against Stephen Kolek. Game 1 of this series. Mike, you called it last night correctly. Astros. We called it the previous night, Astros. And we had the Rangers. Their last game they did win, or I did, I should say. Honestly, this game I think has some access. What do you think?
Yeah, so part of the reason that we went there yesterday, if you remember the breakdown, was we got a coin flip price tag with some plus money leaning to the team that's more healthy, right? That was the situation. The Texas Rangers are beat up right now, and the thing about the Texas Rangers in this case here is they're playing a shit offensive team in Kansas City. So it does give them the benefit. And I see that's why they are in that price tag position that they're at. But look, how can you not look at the under in this game? I wrote it down. I had 3 plays written down that I absolutely love on the card. Already shared 2 of them. I'm going to go to the under 7.5 here. Globe Life is the home of the under. And I don't think Kansas City can put it over. So I know favorites, openers. Yeah, there's a spot. There's a situation here. But the Royals as road dogs against lefties on top of it are an under squad as well. It's gone under 7 straight times. So not only do I like the under 7.5, but why not? I'm not going to go nerfy in this game, at least not yet. But the reason being is that fucking Rangers have a way of screwing my nerfies up here. But the 4 is sitting at minus 105 for the first 5. First 5, under 4, minus 105. Full game, under 7.5. I think this is a good opportunity for us to get paid.
Yeah, I'm staying the course. I lost last night. I didn't lose the previous night, but I did lose last night with Texas. I'm staying the course. I like Texas tonight in the money line. Then they get the win. This is a great spot to fade Kansas City. I was going through this before. This is game 1 of 2 series this year. Obviously, 1 home and 1 road for either team. Last year, Kansas City did dominate Texas, going 6-1. I think you're going to see a reversal here. They also did play well on the road last year. But Kansas City's road record in 2025 was about 500, 39-42. You can't say the same thing about this season. They're 7-17 on the road. And I don't think it improves here. They're 3-13 in their last 16 games. And it's funny, we've kind of sensationalized the Tigers' fall down precipitously. Kansas City's following suit. It's like the entire Central Division is just completely falling apart. They just got swept by the Yankees. That's the second time this year they've gotten swept by the Yankees. The last time they didn't bounce back. They lost the following game to open the next series against Baltimore. And something I found to be very interesting and a really crazy pattern here, the final game of the previous sweep at the Yankees, they did lose 7-0 as the final score. Go back 2 nights ago, home game, final game of the series against Garrett Cole, they lost again precisely 7-0. You can't make this stuff up. So I think they're going to actually fall apart here. And a couple more points on this. This is probably my best handicap of the card. I think you really want to sell Stephen Kolek here. When I was looking at this before, I was trying to figure out who is this guy. And I looked at his numbers. He's 29 years old, and he went to Texas A&M. Mike, off the top of your head, and you don't have to get this. I'm not going to downgrade you in my Rolodex here if you don't get this trivia question. What other pitcher is currently running a great campaign, 29 years old, from Texas A&M?
I can't even begin to fathom. Wait. You say it like that. Is it Davis Martin? No, Davis Martin.
Davis Martin.
Is it really?
Davis Martin and Stephen.
Did you see me pull that out of my ass?
Well, we're talking White Sox. It's flowing together here. Davis Martin and Stephen Kolek both pitched in the same time window with Texas A&M. And I always talk about this. I was talking about this when Brandon Sproat got his first dub. I was saying one of these other Florida pitchers, we're going to give him a call. You better believe Davis Martin and Stephen Kolek talk. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with both of them significantly improving the last couple of years. This dude has looked great, and I think it's really a great spot to sell him tonight. He's coming off of a complete game shutout in his previous game at home against Seattle. And the last time he had a complete game shutout, last year, he did shut out the Rockies on the road while he was pitching for the Padres. The following game off that complete game shutout, he had his worst start with the Padres, a home game against Seattle, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 home runs against in only 5 innings pitched. I think this is a great sell high on this guy. An absolutely final point on this. Mackenzie Gore is a home pitcher. He's 3-1 at home. He's coming off a road loss. He's 1-0 at home off of a road loss. He's only given up 7 earned runs at home all year in 24 innings pitched. It's a great bounce back for Texas. It's a great buy low. It's a great spot for Gore. It's a great spot to sell Kansas City and Kolek. And shout to these guys who are 29 years old from Texas A&M. Great farm down there. Good stuff. Take the Rangers. And let's cash. Next game on the card. Brewers Astros opening up a series tonight in Houston. Interleague baseball, interesting stuff here. Kind of a tough game in my opinion. I didn't recognize this pitcher for the Brewers when I started capping it. Coleman Crow. I swear these names in baseball, they're straight out of a movie. Coleman Crow. What a name. Not much data for this guy. It is Kaiwei Tang on the bump for the Astros. Mike, if you have anything in this one with these pitchers, I will be impressed. What's going on here?
Sure do, man. I got the Brew Crew in this thing here. A couple things, right? They had the Battle of Texas, so there's some emotional fatigue, I think, that goes into this Astros lineup. On top of that, not just the emotional fatigue, but when the team has the rest advantage to start a series, they do quite well in Major League Baseball. So you got to recognize it. Rested road favorites, 7-0. They find themselves on the run line here. So not only do I like the Brewers here. Now, hear me out, okay? We have to talk a little management and strategy here because I'm going to take a bomb on Coleman to get the win, but he's plus 220. So we're going to do a little sprinkle action there. We're going to take a half a unit there. We're going to park the other half a unit on the Milwaukee Brewers to pick up the run line at plus 150. And then I'm going to put a full unit on the Brewers themselves. And the theory being here, I want to swing for the fences where I think they have the clear advantage. Yeah, right now, game 1 road favorites against shit teams have won 5 straight as well. The Brewers are just one of the best hitting teams in baseball right now. And I think all of those factors, the rest, the effort, the production, the unknown, frankly, with the pitching matchup here in Coleman, all give us a good opportunity to take advantage here. And I think this is a great Brew Crew spot. So let's go Brew Crew and all of the other plays that got dropped out there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Coleman Crow here, campaign 1. has actually won both games he started, both on the road. He did not get a win in his previous start because they didn't have the lead. They blew the lead, it looks like, in the 6th inning. He went 5, only gave up 1 earned run. Did not get the win, though. Ashby got the win in relief. Interesting. And they did beat the Twins 3-2. His only other road game, also a Friday night in Miami, he did go 5 1/3. 2 earned runs, very effective, 7-5 win. He didn't get the win in that one either, due to the fact that they blew the lead twice late and they did pull it out in extra innings. That's why you're getting such implied odds in these win spots, because the bullpens just blow the game. That's the crazy thing. It's so hard to get a win, even if you pitch well and go 5 innings in contemporary baseball. So I wouldn't disagree. I think it's a nice spot to sell the Astros off a big divisional win and series in Texas. And I do think the Brewers will compete here. I would agree. I haven't gotten there, but I do think the Brewers inside. Great looks there. And let's keep it moving. Next game on the card, 8:40 in Colorado. That is 6:40 Mountain Time. Big series here, opening up divisional baseball. Giants, Rockies, Logan Webb at Michael Lorenzen. Logan Webb, coming off the injury list, has to make his first start at Coors. I've seen easier projects over my years. I think he might struggle. I think Lorenzen will inevitably struggle in this stadium. Looking like runs tonight, Mike, in my opinion. What do you think?
I'm going to go with the under in this game. The one of the most profitable baseball positions in Major League today, Davis Martin. We just talked about him as a White Sox first 5 attendee. Also, the unders at Coors have been more profitable than just about any other stadium in baseball. So couple things going on here. One, you want to back the San Francisco Giants to put runs on the board? No. 2, Lorenzen actually pitches pretty decent, all things considered. Well, decent being a euphemism for a pile of shit, but at Coors, okay. And I think collectively you look at this. Do you want Colorado to go out there and put the runs on the board? I don't know. I mean, look, at Giants in the favorite as a season opener or as a series opener are 52-35 to the under. So their pitcher's got better stuff than your pitcher. And Logan Webb, he likes his unders as well, albeit though he's in struggle current form over the last 3 years. He has not been showing that command and control. So it's a lot to ask for him to get it together here. But I think you look at this thing and you say 10.5 and you're like, yeah, you know what? With this pitching matchup, this number should be 11.5 or 12. And it's 10.5. So they're telling you something here with this game. I'm going to take the under.
We're going to disagree here. This would be a fun one. You know, as I mentioned, this is why we manage our bankroll. So not every game is the end of the world for us, win or loss, but I do have the over in this game. And what I'm looking at here is just Lorenzen at home. Every game goes over unless he's playing the Astros. It's just like automatic. He's 2-0 versus the home over in the division. Both very high finals, 8-6 in his most recent one against the Diamondbacks, 9-6 against the Dodgers. And you look at Webb, as I said, he's coming off the injury list. He didn't look good in his previous start before going on the IL. It's not really where you want to come back. And you do have good data here. This guy's pitched for the Giants for a while. So he's also pitched at Coors for a while. And you go back to last year, 2 home games against the Rockies. Very effective stuff. Only 1 earned run against. Most recently, actually, the final start of last year, Sunday, September 28th, 4-0 final. Key point on the line, it was a 7.5 line, and it was moved down from his only road start at Coors last year, which was Tuesday, September 2nd, 10.5 line over 7-4. So what we're seeing here is a polarization distinctly with Webb. Home unders versus the Rockies on lines lower than 8 and overs at Coors on lines over 10.5. And as I mentioned, Lorenzen is just not doing it for me. And that's just who he is. He's 34. He throws straight down the middle. He's got high 90s fastballs with not a lot of natural movement. It's kind of like batting practice for these guys. And I think he will aid the Giants' bats in scoring. I'm also going to give you guys the Rockies on the money line. I think the Rockies win this game. And, Mike, this is the intrigue of baseball. You had a take earlier where you said, I'm taking both sides of the game and they're both going to win. Clearly, if we want an over, we want the Giants to score. I just think the Rockies will score more and win the game outright. If you look at the line structure here, this is all over Colorado. San Francisco is 16-2 in their last 18 games against the Rockies. And the last 3 times Logan Webb faced the Rockies, he laid 275, 245, and 410. And now he's laying 150. Let the books tell you this story. This is a far better Rockies team. It's a far worse version of the Giants, and Webb will struggle. I see a high-scoring Rockies dub tonight. It's going to be an enjoyable one for the fans at Coors. That's all I got on this one, Mike. Any thoughts on the money line?
Listen, I think that some of the numbers are telling you, like minus 150 as a road favorite, it's pretty fucking beefy. I mean, they're telling you that team's going to go out there and kick the shit out of somebody. And then not only that, but don't let it compromise your numbers when you look at things like Kalshi, because there's such a fucking predominant book right now with best price tags. The rest of the market's priced around minus 160, minus 170. So the market's telling you the San Francisco Giants are going to beat the shit out of the Colorado Rockies here. So it'll be interesting to see, but I still like the under. I think that's a strong look.
See, in terms of the way I look at lines, when the team's 16-2 over 18 and all the lines are around minus 300, that's actually a significant downgrade in the line. So for me, that actually speaks to the Rockies. But we will see, and we will keep it moving. Next game on the card, big dog stuff here tonight in Sacramento. It's good for the fans out in Sacramento. The Sacramento Kings have been off for about 2 months now. There's not a lot going on. I said maybe they're going bowling before noon out there. I don't know, but tonight you get the Yankees at the A's. Carlos Rodon at Luis Severino. Mike, I have a hat in this game. What do you think?
This is a great price tag for the Yankees, man. Listen, I think this is another one of them spots where you got to take a look at it and say, what are we going to see here? What do we know about Severino? He's a pile of shit. He's also playing his former team. And those two factors to me are problematic here. You know, this guy collectively, Severino at home, 14-4-1 to the over. So I like the Yankees to go out there and smack this fucking guy around. I like the Yankees first 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 105. I like the Yankees team total at 4.5 minus 140, but 5.5 is plus 110. So I like this New York Yankee spot here today. No frills, no fluff. Just smack Severino right in the mouth. Open hand, preferably.
We're going to disagree on this one. I have a beautiful yellow hat on a Friday. I'm actually taking this one off, and it's going to be more comfortable. I like the mesh back. The buy hat is engaged. And, you know, it's kind of the same conversation I just had with the Rockies take. Why is the line so short? And I really think this is leaning towards the A's. You look at Carlos Rodon here. He's 0-3 on the season. He's 0-2 on the road. He hasn't even made it to the 5th inning in either game. And last year, he did have one start at this park. He got rocked 11-7. And I just don't think this is a buy low for Rodon. And I told you guys this before he lost to the Blue Jays last Thursday. I said 2 years ago, the first season he pitched for the Yankees, he was also injured and he missed spring training. He didn't have the normal ramp up. He never really got into his flow. And this is a very similar scenario. No spring training comes up 3 weeks ago on May 10th. Very, very laborious on the road. Severino already beat the Yankees at Yankee Stadium 3-2. He did labor 5 walks, 4 hits in 5 innings. But this is the same numerical conversation. The last 4 times the Yankees have faced Severino, 3 I should say, they've been favored in the 200 range, and now they're downgraded. And that's a snapshot to Rodon not performing, the A's being a bye team, and Severino actually, despite his struggles, being 2-0 at home this year out of the division against American League opponents. 2 home losses in the division against Texas and a game against San Francisco. I also see an over in this game. I think you're going to see a ton of runs. As I mentioned, Severino 3-2 road, tons of walks. This is kind of the same conversation as the Rockies game. I see a high-scoring back-and-forth affair and an over in this game. Mike, any further thoughts or keeping it moving?
Yeah, I think you got to look at Rodon here. And look, minor league starts and rehab starts, right? Garrett Cole was on fire, and he translated into this thing here. But you have to tell the story that's being told here. They're bringing him back from injury because they need him to go deep into the playoffs. And so the first game he goes out there, he does pitch into the 5th inning. But, you know, he's trying to figure it out. So he walks 5 guys. He only gets 4 strikeouts. But since then, man, 6 strikeouts. He goes, you know, into the fourth inning. They're still kind of managing his process. And then he goes into the fifth inning. He gives you 7 strikeouts here. I mean, and it was a 2-0 loss on top of that. So not a ton of run support. That was when the Yankees bats were clustered and cold. So move him out of the division. That was an AL East battle here. I think this is a Yankees smash him spot, and we'll see how it plays out long term. I got it circled. I got it highlighted. We'll come back and talk about it later tonight.
Yeah, the thing that I can't figure out is when the lines get really short, how they become wins for that team. Because in no other sport does the book move the line against a team in strength and it becomes a blowout. So maybe I'm just not seeing baseball, but in every other sport, when a team is significantly better and on a short line, it is actually pulling towards the other team. So I don't know. We will see.
But I guess it depends on your definition of short. Like minus 145 isn't short. Minus 110 is short. If you're the road team and you're minus 110, minus 140 tells me that they should beat them. They're just not sure by how many runs. I mean, I guess it's agree to disagree when it comes down to the philosophy of the line itself, but minus 140 seems like they should comfortably paddle that ass. And Severino does like his ass paddled with the overs.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. He has struggled against the Yankees for years, and obviously he's struggled at this par. My only point is, like, when you zoom out to a team that lost over 100 games a couple of years ago, like the Yankees justifiably could be laying over 2-1 here, like minus 230, and they're not. So I just think it's short historically. So we'll see, and we will keep it moving. Next game on the card, we got 2 late games tonight. Actually 3, that's a late game, but 2 late games tonight. 10-10 in Seattle. Interleague baseball here. Diamondbacks opening up at the Mariners. Zach Gallen at George Kirby. I was trying to get to something in this game. Kirby at home is the side. He's looked a little sketchy here. Mike, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a little reluctant to get into the Kirby business. Now, this line is short to me. Sitting there at minus 140 as a home team, right? We just talked about the Yankees, and this one, same price tag, except now you got a home team out there. So probably does suggest that they, smack them. But I'm looking more at the Kirby strikeout prop, and I'm looking to the under in this one here. It's just a metrics thing for me. Kirby's he's a sub 20% strikeout ratio right now. He's less than 7.2 strikeouts per 9. They put it at 5.5 and they juiced it slightly to the under at minus 115. The Diamondbacks are showing some incredible plate discipline right now. And over the last 2 weeks, they've improved their strikeout ratio by 3 points. That moves them to 29th overall in baseball. So the Jorge Kirby under 5.5 strikeouts for me in this game.
Yeah, this is a tough game for me. I would like to get to the Mariners in this game. You're getting Kirby off back-to-back losses. It's only the second time this year he's lost back-to-back games. He is 1-0 off of 2 consecutive losses. Did catch a home win on Monday, April 13th against Houston, 6-2 off a road low-scoring loss at Texas, 3-2. He's coming off a 5-0 loss, so a road loss where there were precisely 5 runs scored. I do think it's a bounce back for this guy. My only hesitation is he is 0-2 at home against National League opponents. He did lose to the Braves 3-2. He pitched well in the game, only 2 earned runs. Did not pitch well in his most recent home game against the Padres. 6 earned runs in 5 2/3, 2 home runs. But as we know, Mike knows very well, the Padres swept the Mariners this year. And that game was a funky Sunday night baseball game where the first pitch was at 4:20 Pacific, where he didn't perform well. Moral of the story is I think the Diamondbacks are a little too hot here. They've won 5 in a row, all divisional games against Colorado and San Francisco. Gallen on the road, last road start at the American League was actually awful at Texas, 7-4 loss. Not coincidentally for our handicap tonight, against Mackenzie Gore. How beautiful is that? 4 earned runs, 2 home runs again. I'm talking myself into it, guys. I think this has to be a Mariners spot. The Diamondbacks are too hot. Divisional opponents, Gallen ass in this spot. Take the Mariners, guys. I'll go official with it. Take the Mariners. And let's cash. Final game of the card, Apple TV doubleheader tonight, 10:15 in Los Angeles. Phillies opening up a weekend series at the Dodgers. You talk about great baseball. You talk about late night enjoyable baseball. This should be a great game. Zach Wheeler at Jacob Robleski. Tight line here, Mike. I was looking at it before. Tough game for me. What do you think?
I like the Dodgers to smack the bottoms here in this one. And so, a lot of times we'll talk about, like, can they sustain it? And I'll tell you about, like, the Reds and when they put the bat on the ball. But baseball, because of the numbers, is one of those sports where you can start to forecast, right? We talk about Skeens and why he continues to take losses. It has to do with the bats and their production. It has nothing to do with Skeens. You look at a team like this, though, and you see Zach Wheeler, and on the surface, you say, man, this dude's fucking killing it. Why isn't he going to go out there and shove? Because you overlay the expected ERA on this guy, and it tells you an entirely different story. So 3.15 expected ERA, current ERA 1.67. That tells you he should regress his bat to ball, the accuracy, and when it gets in play, all those factors out there tell you. Then we look at the WRC plus. So we got a pitcher who's expected to regress, and we've got a WRC plus that's one of the better spots in baseball against right-handers. Remember, I told you WRC plus is 100. This is plus 123 for this LA Dodgers team in recent form. So you're catching the Dodgers. I said this before, right? We took them at home at a minus 105. Like, where are you going to catch these price tags? And that's what we have again is a situation where the Dodgers at this tag are a buy on spot right now. Also, for what it's worth here, this series, and if you think back to last year in playoffs, this series has been an over series between these teams. They have continued to just destroy the ball here. Dodgers and Phillies, home favorite in game one of a series, are 14-1-3 to the over here. But I think the Dodgers find a way to stay hot, baby. Let's go take a big price tag. Take a big play on this son of a bitch here. This is one of my favorites on the board.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Maybe I'll tell. I don't have a side in this game. I do think one sell point, which is certainly agreeable here, is Wheeler came off the injury list. He's 6-0. I think it caps. I don't think he's going to win 7 in a row here. And I think Wroblewski really is very high upside here. When you're looking at the Dodgers, you got to give them some credit. Not to say that, everything they've done in the recent history was farm to the major leagues. They've certainly bought a significant amount of talent in the open market. But this guy's a 25-year-old left-hander who was not really supposed to do much. And he has looked great all year. So you got to give him credit for really coaching this guy up. The only time this year he was laying a really small figure against the National League East, he was laying about minus 120. Or actually, no, excuse me, he was not. He was laying minus 168 in that game against the Mets. Against the Braves, he was laying minus 144 and took a loss. Okay, so he's 1-1 at home against the National League East. But that being said, I think Wheeler's a little capped in the market. I'm just looking here to see if Wheeler has any matchup data recently against the Dodgers. He didn't face them last year. He did face them 2 years ago in 2024. Tuesday night, it was July 9th, 2024 at home. 10-1 win against the Dodgers, actually. 5 innings pitched, only a solo shot against, facing off against, at the time, Bobby Miller. Wow, where did he end up? He's still on. God, these pitchers come and go so quickly. Looks like he's hurt. He's on the 60-day IL. So the last time Wheeler faced the Dodgers, it was Bobby Miller getting shelled at Citizens Bank Park in the summer of 2024. Well, it is not the summer of 24. It is spring 26. Mike likes the Dodgers. I wouldn't disagree. That's 59 minutes of the fastest 15-game card rundown you will find on the internet, Mike. And we got best bets.
Best bets here for the Bases Loaded show Friday, March 29th. I got a bevy for you guys here. I'm going to open her up. We're going to take the Minnesota Twins at plus 122. I'm going to give you the over 5.5 strikeouts in the Taj Mahal spot as well. San Diego Padres, even money, plus 100. Toronto, plus 104. I got Nick Martinez to get the win at plus 175. I'm going to take the first 5 under 4 and the full game under 7.5 in that Kansas City spot. San Francisco under 10.5, and I'll take the LA Dodgers to bring her home at minus 118.
Yeah, as Kelly was saying, a rematch of the playoffs in that late game. The Dodgers did beat the Phillies 3-1 in the division series, but of course Wheeler was hurt, so no matchup data there. I'll give you guys a bunch of stuff here. We're taking Atlanta on the run line, minus 1.5. I want to see what the line is for the alt. I think we'll go a half unit on one of the alts. 1 second here, guys.
Add the Brewers to that spot for me as well. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull it up here real quick. 1 second, guys. As
I see plus 112 on the run line.
Yeah, I had plus 113 earlier. That was on Kalshi. We'll go with the minus 1.5, but I do want to look at the alts here and maybe give them a big one. I do think they win the game by 3 or 4 runs at the minimum. All right, so we have minus 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. Let's go minus 3.5 plus 227 at we'll go a half unit there. And we're going with Texas minus 122. Taking the A's plus 1.5 minus 127. Taking the Mariners at minus 133. And we'll go with that total. It's a disagreement total. This is just fun. It's Friday night. We'll enjoy it. I do think you're going to see runs, over runs at the A's Sacramento bandbox ballpark. We're looking at, what's our total there?
9.5.
9.5. Sacramento.
Looking at the other game. My bad.
Yeah, Sacramento 9.5.
Well, we both I like the Yankees over in that spot. You're just saying the Athletics are going to put some ball on that thing.
Yeah, well, with the plus 1.5, you could win 8-7.
Yankees are going to win that game 7-2.
So that would go under, and I would go 0-3. I'm just going to go 0-100 and lose every coin flip. If that wins, we can revisit this on Monday. The short lines covering in baseball, because it just doesn't play that way in other sports. I'm just being.
No, I'm with you, dude. Like you said though, 162, right? It's 1/10 of a baseball season, or a 1/16 of a football season over at 10. That shit happens, and it's. I was talking last night to Razor about this on the show. Some of these games, like 15-2, and like, where do you see that kind of shit? It doesn't make any sense, right? It's like, how can the OKC Thunder be competitive for 2 quarters and then they start getting beat up a little in the third, and all of a sudden they're getting ripped by 30 points? Don't make sense. Some of these sports right now, just statistical outliers galore.
Yeah, for sure. And, as I said with these totals, they're very close, no doubt. They're hook lines very often. So, guys, manage your bankroll. We appreciate you guys. Our guy that says, I love this effing show. We fucking love to do it. And everybody else, we appreciate that. The gratitude is real. We have so much gratitude towards you guys for hanging out with us every day. We know baseball is very detail-oriented. It's very analytical. We try to bring high energy and deep entertainment to the project, because I've watched other shows in previous years and I didn't feel like the energy was there. So we really appreciate you guys. Mike, let's do a quick parlay for a Friday night. It's Friday, for God's sakes. We got to give them some sweat here.
TGIF, brother. Only 4 days we were working this week, but it feels like we put the time and effort in. So I like to start it off here with let's go with the Atlanta Braves money line. I like that spot. I really like your play there, and I like the alt, so I think we're both in concurrence there. What do you think here? Want to take a look at
Brewers? Did you give the Brewers?
Brewers was one of the. I added that as my best bet as well, so I like that Brewer spot a ton. And then,
what about the White Sox? Did you give that one?
Let's put the White Sox in there.
White Sox. I'm in.
Where'd they go? Hang on. Where did we find them? Scrolling here real time. Plus 503 for that 3-legger. The Brewers, the Sox, and the Braves. I might actually go a little heavier on that one, dude. I really, it's funny. I said yesterday I didn't really like the card. I really love today's card. I don't know how the hell I'm going to strip this down to some best bets for my winnable members here, but we will get there, dude. We got some great plus money spots. We gave you guys a huge card today as well. So lots of plays, lots of feedback, lots of thoughts around how to attack this thing. Just over an hour on the card with my man Shark. Ride the waiver, get the fuck out of the water, bitches.
No doubt. No, it's, as I said, we really enjoy doing the show for you guys. It's high energy across the internet, and we see you guys across the world watching. We don't know where you guys are exactly from, but wherever you are, hope you're having a great Friday. If you're not having a great Friday, we're sending you top energy for the weekend. You're going to have a great weekend. Trust yourself, do the right thing, and great results come to those who do. That's it for this one, guys. It's an hour and 5. It is the fastest 15-game rundown. It is MLB Bases Loaded on this Friday, May the 29th, 2026. For Mike, I'm the Shark. Stay fast, stay strong, stay disciplined, and let's dominate.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine.